because I want you to look like garbage.
You do.
Are we frenemies?
No.
Is that what we are?
Maybe today. I thought you were grabbing it. Why did you touch it if you weren't
I don't know.
I'm done with this bitch.
2,000 years later.
To the windows, to the wall, to the sweat drop down my ball.
A few moments later.
We have a lot of problems today. Anna kept touching her fucking lip, and it was annoying and weird.
It just started off weird today. I don't know why you have a problem with me touching my lip. I literally do that all the time, but I guess when I'm around you, a lot of times I have chapstick or lip gloss on, so I usually only do it if I don't have anything on my lips. And I'll run my fingers like over my lips and stuff. Especially if I'm thinking a lot. I do it when I work.
It was just really... You do that in public?
When I'm at work. If I don't have like chapstick or if I forget to put lip gloss on or anything. I got naked lips.
Yeah, it was disturbing to me. I didn't like it because Anna does this thing where like she literally like if something's wrong with my hair, she'll stare at it. So I'm thinking the whole time she's doing it, I'm like, oh, something's wrong with my lips. So I snatch my
It's me
mirror.
like subconsciously trying to like send you a message of like.
Where it's more like where you're just like, this bitch's lips. So I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with my face? So then I look and I'm like.
I think that's a you problem because anytime you ask me, how do I look or how does this look? And I'm like, it looks fine. You're like, I look awful is what you're saying.
You're a liar.
I'm not a liar. I'm not.
So that just means you don't. I go out of my way. I have been saying this for a while. Anna always looks
let's
good.
hash it out
Anna,
right now. Let's go, baby. Let's rumble.
Anna always looks good on the podcast. I make sure her angle's good, her lighting's good, and then there's me, the fucking troll.
I don't do cameras or lighting. I don't know what you. I'm like. I'm literally not in your head. I don't know what you want it to look like.
You see me in the
and
camera
it looks
alive.
fine.
You see me a breathing human, and you go,
It looks.
she's
fine.
in the camera. But is it attractive? Exactly. You should be able to look at something and go, oh, that looks snatched. So anyway.
No, you should be able to do that because you know what you want it to look like.
It's hard to do it.
Let me tell you,
yourself.
there's sometimes I've seen my angle and I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to look at myself when I watch back the episode. I'm just not going to scrutinize. I detach myself. I look at it in the third person.
I had to do that with our wide shot last time. It was really bad for both of us. It was not a good thing. So I've been traumatized for almost a year now, just constantly feeling like, but I'm not
traumatized or terrorized.
Both, all of it. I was terrorized, which
terrorist.
caused me to be traumatized.
Huh?
So today, I was like, I'm done. I brought a mirror. I wonder if you do that. Can they see?
Can you see yourself? Oh, wait. Is that too much? Are we breaking the fourth wall?
Yeah, I'm saying, can you see all the lights in that?
Oh, yeah.
So you can see the set.
Hey, guys, you can see yourself.
Hold on. Remember the first episode we posted? The guy's like, quit messing with your fucking hair. Quit messing with your hair. Why don't you fuck? He's the kind of dude that tell you to smile.
Let's talk about Hitler.
That'll make sense later.
I'm immaculately conceived.
I don't know what to do.
I swear I'm not stupid.
Take it or leave it. Sometimes you just want to leave it.
If I gotta borrow my mom's underwear, I'm borrowing her underwear.
You just, yeah.
Misa likes the Jar Jar Binks.
I'm not gonna edit it out.
Oh no.
I don't know. Like, I think I was pretty great. Just saying on the
to
planet.
suck.
Why are you saying it with a question mark?
Clap, bitch.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Action. That was the story of the day before we
Great
decided.
segue. That was so good. I mean, you should have a podcast. You're just really good at that.
You know. So,
Don't do that with your tongue again.
honestly, I knew when it happened it wasn't good.
You ever do something and you're like, that was a mistake in the moment and you just gotta like roll with it?
I'm aware. Oh, it is just. So yeah, I went on a rant.
Your light is out.
It's not on. It is out. That's correct, but it's not even.
Okay,
I didn't charge any of the batteries. I'm like, that's
no point.
they're there. Your A is crooked. I don't even think you can see it.
No, it's not hung up straight. It's,
yeah, this is the last podcast in this set. This is final in this particular set. Our our new set will not. We won't even get to work on it until August. So we're gonna have to do a makeshift shit show at my house.
Accurate. TBH.
Yeah. So we're fucked.
Don't you want to stick around for this? For the shit show that it's about to commence?
They're probably gonna be the best. So
we're gonna have temporary housing.
Yes.
We're gonna be temporarily unhoused, experiencing homelessness for the podcast.
Yeah. At first, I even thought, I wonder, could we do it in a car podcast? And then Anna said, no, not into that.
Not in South Georgia summer when we have to have the air going and it's going to pick up on the mics. Like,
I think if we're silent, I think we should experiment with the idea because we can hold them, like they would be the handheld kind of thing. And then if we're silent for at least 5 seconds when the air is on, you can capture the sound and then remove it. I would be curious to know.
How much gas is that going to eat up, though?
Bye. I don't give a fuck. Like, literally, when Travis goes to paintball practice, I'm just, like, sitting in the car for hours. So it's not a lot of gas.
I'm still not a fan.
Yeah,
I mean, if you really are hell-bent, like, we need to try it out once, I'll try it. I'm open.
I think it'd be like I would like to try it for a travel pod, like a travel session.
A travel pod?
Travel pod one day.
But then you have the traffic noise, like the noise of the car engine, not just like the AC, but then it's the actual like.
It's gotta be quiet. So some things happen. It adds to the environment.
Is it ambient noise?
Yeah. So I have been on. This is like we just went on a tangent like normal. I went on a rant a few days ago. So this is what happened to
on
me.
Your Instagram story.
On my Instagram story.
I would.
And I don't ever post.
No, I was gonna say you and I go through phases where sometimes we'll post like multiple times a day for a couple days, and then it's just radio silence.
Mm-hmm.
And so you had been a little bit more active since we'd been going to stuff the past couple weeks.
It became alive.
Yeah. And then I saw that you had a new story posted. I'm like, what is she posting today? And then I was like, oh, it's her face. She's talking to the camera. What is this about? And then I watched the whole thing. Both stories.
I was pretty much this is what even like I felt triggered.
You were #triggered.
So I was already like in a bad mood, mostly because my blood sugar had like dropped. And no, I'm not like diabetic or anything, but like if I don't eat at like the times I normally do, my blood sugar just I get like really nauseous.
You're not you when you're hungry.
No, and I don't like Snickers, so don't even say that.
Well then, that was a hot take.
Yeah, I don't fuck with the Snickers. That's just
really. What about it? Do you not like?
It's the whole thing.
Is it like too sweet or like?
No, it's just the nuts in it, and I'm just not
into the caramel. So you like? Do you like?
I love a Twix.
Okay,
I fuck with the Twix, and I can deal with.
So you like chocolate
Way.
caramel? You like something with a crunch in it?
Oh,
Milky Way is a Snickers without peanuts.
I think it's the peanuts that bother me.
Okay.
But Milky Way's at the bottom of the candy. I'll accept. So it's like me.
Yeah, it's a little too mushy.
Three Musketeers. I don't fuck with that really. I mean, I could eat it if I had to, but I don't love it.
Yeah.
But my favorite candy is a motherfucking Reese cup. All day. All day.
Interesting.
If you watch New Girl, then you would know what that is.
I fuck with the peanut in a candy. So I like a what is it? Is it not a Charleston Chew? It is a peanut chew. I think it's called a peanut chew. It's like an old fashioned candy. They have it at like Cracker Barrel, and I can get it at like Five Below. It's hard to find it unless it's like it carries older candies and stuff. It's hard to find in like regular grocery stores.
Mm-hmm.
But it is peanuts mixed with caramel. How do you say it?
I say caramel.
Caramel. Peanuts mixed with caramel, and it's covered in chocolate, and it's super chewy. Like it's good. It's got good mouthfeel. One of my favorites. And it's dark chocolate.
Okay.
Not a milk chocolate bitch.
Well, no, I can do both. But no candy was gonna make me not in a bad mood that day.
Oh my God, the segues. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to stop pointing them out now. I just...
Let it be.
Just let it. It's not a segue. If you point it out, then it's a segue.
God damn it. So, well, that broke it up.
That's it. The podcast is breaking up.
We're done. So,
we're on one today.
What happened? What was I I was moody because I needed to eat. So I was on my lunch break, and I go to this drive-thru place where we live. It's one of those places where it's like Checkers basically, where like you order, well, it's a little different than that really, because you order at one window and then you pay and get your food at the other, but there you don't go inside this place or anything like that. I'm not trying to say the names. I don't need people to know exactly. Have we already said where we lived?
Yeah.
On the podcast?
We said the city
It's
before.
Zacadoo's. So if you know, you know. Anyway, so I'm fucking with Zacadoo's because they got this chicken teriyaki bowl that's like pretty quick. It's not that bad in the sense of like
It's
health
not.
wise.
Yeah, it's not. It's food that's not fried, but also not a salad that you can get in a drive-thru.
Yeah.
So it's fine. You feel okay when you eat it.
Yeah. So I get that, and then I pull around to the pay window and pickup window, and there's this girl who is like the cashier. And
Is it
she's
the one right
super
here?
Sweet. Yeah, yeah. And she's super, super sweet. She calls me love. She's not British. It's sidebar. It is so weird when like American people do that. How you doing, love? What did you say to me? I want to hear British accents only say that.
Do you know, we may have talked about this on the podcast before, but I'm not offended if people call me pet names like that I don't know. If it's like love or sweetie or sweetheart or honey or darling or anything like that.
I wasn't offended.
Like,
but it just sounds
just
better.
love in particular.
Love is like, I want Klaus Michelson from the Vampire Diaries to call me that.
So if she had said like sweetie or honey, it wouldn't have been as weird.
No, and it really wasn't even weird. It's just in my mind, I was like, you're not Klaus. You're not a 1,000-year-old murderous hybrid. Anyway.
We're never going to get through this story.
So,
it's our own fault.
Basically, she's like, oh, how you doing, love? And she gets my car, all that kind of shit. She's handing me my food. She's about to hand me my food. And this fucking man just runs up like his life depends on it.
Like, run? Like,
I mean, the
hustled?
way... Yeah, he hustled.
He was like, arms pumping?
I don't know. I don't think he had that much room because of, the place is so small, but it was enough to where like when he got to the window, he like had his hands like there was like weight that went forward and then back
to like
up.
catch him.
Yeah.
Enough. He's moving pretty quick.
He hustled, and I was very unimpressed. And
can you imagine being impressed by that? Like, oh my God, he hustled. So hot.
I was like, what the fuck are you looking at? So he's like...
She didn't say that. That's the vibe she was giving.
Yeah, I was very much like, what the... Hello? He goes, smile! Why don't you smile? And I literally just went... And
For our audio-only listeners, she made a face at the camera. You are at a disadvantage because I cannot explain to you what this face is, so you should go to YouTube at WAYYPOD. And
I can't give you
watch this episode. I can't give you a timestamp either, but you'll figure it out. It's probably within the first 15, 20 minutes.
I fucking hope so. So anyway, I gave him that look, but it's basically can I fucking help you, you ugly piece of trash look? Like that look, like whatever you think that is probably what I gave him. So then the girl goes, oh, he's just so mean, and isn't he mean? And all I said was, more like annoying and weird, but yeah. And then I grabbed my food.
And he's still standing there when
he
you
just
said
kind of
that?
said it, and then he kind of he went, why don't you smile? And he was smiling, but annoying. And he was like, like, if for audio only listeners, he looked like Goofy. So,
yuck.
And I was like,
did he even wait to see if you smiled? He just said, you should smile.
He just smiled and then looked, and I think he got the vibe that I'm not the bitch. And so he just was like, walked kind of away-ish. And then she said, isn't he mean? And I was like, he's like just fucking like weird and like, I don't know, whatever I said.
Mm.
And then I grabbed my food and I left. And then it just literally struck a chord in me. Because I was like,
triggered.
Because I'm just like, that's happened so many times where like, you had talked about this. If he would have walked up to the window and said, hey, if he would have complimented me somehow, I would have smiled. So if his end all goal, here's the thing, men. I'm going to give you some advice. This is some solid advice.
For free. You don't even have to pay to take a course.
Yeah, like literally, if you are a guy and you have, and you've said this before, smile. If it's
you should smile. You should smile more. Why don't you smile more?
Or why don't you smile? Aren't you smiling? Or give me a smile.
Anything pertaining to telling a woman or asking her why she isn't smiling or telling her to smile, that is the best way to get her to not smile whatsoever.
But also, if she has smiled, it's because she's uncomfortable.
Yes.
So I promise you, unless you look like Ian Somerhalder or Paul Wesley, because if they told me to smile, I'd be like, Actually, I don't know. It depends on the mood because if I'm in a certain mood, I don't give a fuck what anyone says to me.
There's a difference between like, I think if it's different if it's someone that you know.
I know Ian Somerhalder.
But I mean, if you're like kind of, I think there's a specific situation in which, if you're kind of like in a bad mood or whatever, and you're talking to somebody, if it's a man or whatever, and you're talking to him about it, and you're kind of like, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, come on, give me a smile. Like it's, whatever. Maybe there's a context in that case, but like that's somebody that you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's honestly just really annoying because honestly, if you're Ian Somerhalder or Paul Wesley, you ain't got to tell a bitch to smile.
She's just going to smile.
She's going to smile. So, that's void. That point's void. So just don't.
If people wanted to smile, they would. So give them a reason to. Commanding them to smile is not going to make them
weird.
Smile.
It's just weird. And so it's like, give someone a compliment. Mm-hmm. If he would have walked up to the window and like told me I was pretty or said something, just any kind of compliment, I would have smiled. I would have said, oh, thank you, because I was in a bad mood.
Yeah.
That would have made me feel good. And I would have smiled and went, man, that guy was so nice to me. He really actually turned my mood around. But instead, he intensified it.
If he told you a joke or was like, do you want to hear a joke? I've been practicing them. Like,
like anything other than smile. Like, no.
Which I get which it doesn't sound like it applies to this person. But I get some men maybe even being hesitant to like tell a woman she looks pretty or whatever because it may come across as like weird. Mm-hmm. But I think going up to a woman and telling her to smile is just as weird, in that. So like if you, I don't think the person who thinks that it like is questioning if they should walk up to a woman and tell them that they're pretty or whatever because they don't want it to be taken the wrong way or like they're being a creep or objectifying or whatever because some people be reaching that far,
they just reaching.
Yeah. But I mean, I think if you're a guy and you're questioning or second guessing if you should go up to a woman and compliment her and tell her she's pretty for whatever reason because you don't want a weird reaction, you're also thinking that anything you say is going to get a weird reaction because you don't know this person, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, I don't think
that's not even an excuse. Yeah. At that point, if you're ballsy enough to tell someone to smile, just give them a compliment.
Yeah. Just say something else.
Yeah. So it just really got on my nerves because it happens like all the time. Like it's something that I think every woman has probably experienced at some point in her life. It's so fucking annoying. And then like dudes, they might not even think it's a big deal. But my whole point is, would you tell a guy that? Or if a guy told you that, how would you feel?
If you're a guy?
If you're a guy and you're just minding your business and you're grabbing your food and then a man in the drive-thru, he works at the fast food place, runs up to the window and he goes, hey man, smile. Why aren't you smiling? Give me a smile. Wouldn't you be like, bro, I'll kick your ass.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. It's just weird. So think of it like that. If you're a man and you wouldn't want a man doing something to you, back the fuck up. Back the fuck up. It's creepy. If you think it's creepy if a guy would do it to you, then it's creepy if you do it to a chick. It's bizarre. Mm-hmm. It's just weird as fuck.
The only time I've had someone tell me to smile that was a man in like that similar sort of context was while I was at work. Mm-hmm. It was when I was serving.
Yeah, I think you told me about that.
Yeah, and it's happened more than once. It was just one manager in particular, though, that would be like, why aren't you smiling? Or you should smile more. And it was literally while I was walking through the dining room. So like I just brushed it off. Like I wouldn't give him the time of day about it because I'm just like, no. I would look at him and be like, I do smile when I'm talking to my guests at the table. When I'm interacting with them, I smile a lot. I've been complimented many times. Oh, you have such a pretty smile. And that was when my teeth were still fucked up and before I got my invisible aligners. I've been told many a time that I have a nice smile and a great personality. I've gotten so many compliments as a server because I'm nice to my tables and I smile at them. Bitch, I don't need to be smiling the entire time I'm walking through the dining room, just walking from a table back to the kitchen. Why? Why do I need to smile? If there are people eating their food that are paying that much attention to me that just because I'm not smiling, for some reason I look miserable or angry while I'm walking through the dining room, like, you got your own problems. Maybe you should focus on the people you're eating with or focus on your food. Like, why are you so concerned with me walking through the dining room?
Why are you so obsessed with
For real,
me?
that's a you problem. Like, oh, I'm triggered now too. I'm like, meow, meow, But yeah, I literally told him, I was like, I do smile when I'm talking to my tables and interacting with them. I do. And then he was like, well, you should smile when you're walking through the dining room. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
doing that.
I said, you want me to smile the entire time I'm clocked in for my 8-hour shift?
Yes.
The entire time?
That's
Fuck you.
Maybe that's why clowns have to paint them on. So as women, we should just start to paint on these smiles and just look like a bunch of clowns. And then the men would be like, why? Yeah, exactly. I'm smiling. Anyway, that shit's so fucking annoying. So just don't fucking do it.
Just give him a compliment.
It's just weird.
You know, honestly, I don't know that I've ever...
Like, okay, I found that more creepy and annoying than the 2 men that hit on me day 1 and day 2 at the gas station I give a Red Bull out every day. I had a guy run up to me and he asked for my number. Didn't give it to him. But he was super nice about it. Wasn't creepy at all. And then even at the end of the interaction, I was like, oh, no, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend. He's like, well, if he hasn't told you today, you're beautiful.
Oh,
like,
that's super
he
nice.
was so sweet. And
that
then,
is really sweet.
Then the guy
That's
the
a good
next
way
day,
to handle a rejection, though. Like,
Yeah.
you know, because it's like...
He's like, hey, I respect your relationship, but if he hasn't told you you're beautiful, you are. And he's secretly
if
saying,
your man won't, I will.
Yeah, pretty much was the vibe. But he was super nice. And he also, the funniest part about that interaction was the second I was like, oh no, basically like, oh, thank you, but I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend. He immediately was like, okay, yeah, no, there's no harm. I understand. Like, I don't think there's ever any harm in asking. Basically, he goes, well, if you ever need any plumbing done, because he's a plumber and he was in his plumbing outfit.
Oh, he makes good money.
He went, call us and we'll take care of it. And then I'm
That's
like,
so funny.
this guy's funny. So that wasn't offensive to me at all. But the guy at the window demanding for me to smile, I'm like, I'll fucking literally frown the rest of my life just because you said that to me.
Do you know what's weird is that you got hit on at a gas station 2 days in a row by 2 separate people, right? There was one time a couple years ago. It was when I think the week I got my wisdom teeth taken out. I would have been 22, 23, somewhere around there. It was like literally like the week of my birthday. I got hit on twice once was at a gas station. And I don't go out in public that much. So when I do get hit on, I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know what to do. I'm just weird about it.
You're like, me?
Okay. My immediate go-to is just like, no, I'm good. Like, thanks, but no thanks. So the first time I was at a gas station and this kid couldn't have been, he was probably like 17, 18 years old. Like, he was young. He was white with cornrows, had on like basketball shorts, a t-shirt, and like those like the Georgia boots, you know?
What? He was a white boy with cornrows and he had on Georgia boots?
Yeah.
This guy has an identity crisis.
He did.
He didn't know who he was.
But I was stopped at a gas station getting gas. I had gotten my wisdom teeth taken out like a couple days before and was going back. This is like one of my first days back to work. So I'm still chipmunk cheeks a little bit swollen in the face. I'm still taking pain meds. I'm like, when I talk, I have like a speech impediment because my mouth is swollen. And and the fact that he thought I was pretty. And I'm like,
does he have like a fetish?
I don't know. Like chipmunk cheek fetish? I don't know.
Well, you said you sound like you had like a speech impediment.
Well, he would have known that from looking at me pumping gas in my car.
You didn't speak at all?
Well, no. It was after he had already walked up to me. But yeah, anywho, so.
Wait, you said you were back at work. Where is this story taking place?
It was the week I had returned to work.
Okay. This is why I was confused. Okay.
I was getting gas. I'm pretty sure it was my lunch break.
I skipped forward to you.
I was at work getting gas.
I was like, for some reason, I'm like, she's at Cracker Barrel.
Oh, no.
Okay, you're at a gas station.
Yes.
I got it. My bad. You even said that.
I did.
I have mental problems.
You do. So that was an interesting interaction. But
wait, what did he do?
Oh, well, he was like with a couple of his friends and they had
Did they also have cornrows and Georgia boots?
Georgia boots, yes, probably. I think he was the only one with cornrows. But I had seen them walking out of the gas station. Like there was probably 3 or 4 of them walking past me. And I just knew one of them was going to come up. I knew one of them.
That guy at the gas station was going to hit on me. And
yeah. And so I started pumping my gas and then they had all walked past me because their truck was like at the back of the gas station parking lot past where I was parked. But then I started pumping my gas and then one of them the one with the cornrows just walks up to me and is like, I just think you're so beautiful. And I was wondering if I could have your number. And I was like,
You're
said-
12.
And again, remember, speech impediment, also still slightly high on painkillers. I said, I'm flattered, but I'm going to have to decline. And he was like, oh, okay. And then he just walked away.
You meanie. You should have said, I'm flattered, but I think you're a child. And
I mean, he literally couldn't have been like 17, 18. Like
he goes, ma'am, I'm 20. And you're just like, oh, well, that backfired. You know, honestly, I'm not surprised it was him because a white boy with cornrows has got to be confident.
He's something.
He was like, I'm going for it.
And okay, so that was like literally, I think it was the next day or maybe the day after. It was within a couple days. I'm at work. Again, still a little bit swollen in the chipmunk cheeks from my wisdom teeth surgery, everything like that. So I'm at the office and some random guy walks in.
I remember that.
And I go up to the front because our like desks are situated behind this wall sort of thing. So I go up to the front and he's kind of like looking around the front of the store because at the time it was set up for like apparel and stuff like that. So he's looking around and I'm like, hi, how you doing? You know, how can I help you? Whatever. And so he's an older gentleman. He's got to be at least like in his late 30s, maybe 40.
He could have been your daddy.
Ew.
Ew.
And he's giving off like skeevy vibes, you know? And so immediately he gets this like, you ever read a book and they say a man leers at somebody?
I've just heard the term leer.
He was giving me a leer. It was like a look of like skeevy interest. And I was just like not having it. But I'm on the clock. I'm at work. I'm having to be like polite and have a smile on my face the whole time. So he was like asking me a couple like small talk questions or whatever. And he was like, basically asked me out like to lunch or something. He's like, you should, you ever go out to eat around here or anything like that?
No.
He's like, you should let me take you out to lunch. And I was like, no, thank you. Like as polite as I could, like, no. And he like asked multiple times, like you trying to convince me almost like you should let me take you out and da da da. And I just kept saying, no, I'm good. No, thank you. And he's like, well, are you got a boyfriend? You got a man? I'm like, no, I'm single.
You're like, no, I'm just
And
not
he's
interested.
like, well, can I ask why? Like he wasn't being aggressive. He was just being pushy. And I was like, I said, look, I'm just not interested. And he said, you know, I appreciate your honesty. But he was like still going, like and talking and the look on his face is the same way. He's carrying on like a habit.
Now, do you know what's funny about that though? And this is something that like has been brought up like over the years is like I've had interactions like that where because sometimes like it used to be like I hate to say, oh no, sorry, I have a boyfriend because I don't like to imply I would have taken your number or I would have went out with you otherwise. Like it's my boyfriend's not holding me back type of thing. But the fact is, it is the quickest way to get out of being hit on.
Yes.
Because men respect other men more than they respect my wishes that I'm not interested in you. So it's just so like him saying to you like, oh, why do you have a man? That was more, he understood that more than you just not wanting to like go out with him. He could, that was so inconceivable to him of like, you wouldn't want to go out with him.
Yeah.
Conceited much?
And he was like, I was not interested at all. Like not attractive to me, like just older, like giving me weird vibes. I just wasn't into it.
Yeah.
And then he said something that literally I had to like try not to like laugh in his face at because it was so wild that he said this to me. Because this gentleman was black. And he said to me, you know, I got a couple of babies by one of you. I said, what?
Huh?
Trying not to be.
I'm not by me,
I'm
sir.
trying not to guffaw at him. Just be like, like, what?
Why would you even say that?
And he's like, yeah. He's like, I got a couple of mixed babies. He said, you and I would make pretty babies. He said that to me. I said, no.
Okay, Nick Cannon Jr. just trying to impregnate everybody.
Yeah, for real. And I was just like, and then it basically just tried to get him out the door as quickly as possible. I mean, and again, he wasn't like ever aggressive or he never got to the point where like he was taking the rejection and getting angry about it. He was just really persistent and saying very odd things like, I have a couple of babies by one of you. Like,
by one of you.
What does that mean? So to me, that says that like, oh, have you been with like a white woman who has fetishized having a mixed race baby?
Maybe
Like,
he
because
just thought, like, maybe he just wanted you to know, like, listen, I've been with a white girl before, like, that mattered. But then
but the
that's
baby thing, like, you can say
weird.
I've gone out with white girls before without, like, the baby thing. It makes me think of because
He
like
wants you to know, like, listen, he has some babies.
he's
Listen,
DTF, he's fertile, and he can make a mixed race baby with me if I'm interested in that. It's like, are you?
I really want to I want to write a character based on this man because there's something so entertaining about that.
He had so
but
much confidence
weird.
in everything that he was saying and being so persistent. And I'm like, oh, this has clearly worked for you before, but it's not working on me. It was just a very odd thing. And I was like, what is going on? And I'm still on the clock and I'm having to be nice about it. So I can't.
You're like, oh yeah, I'm okay, thanks.
And then he leaves. I like immediately lock the door because I'm like, that was weird to me.
I don't want to be impregnated.
No. And then I went back behind the wall where our desks are. And there was, I think, we had an intern back there and then one of my coworkers. And I was like, did y'all hear that? And the intern was like, oh, yeah, I heard it. And I'm like, that was bizarre, right? And she was like, that was weird.
I'm disturbed.
Yeah. So I'm like, can I please get hit on by not by somebody who wants to impregnate me?
You
to
should
make
have got hit
misraised
on by the
babies?
guy at the gas station I got hit on. Honestly, you would have taken his number probably. He wasn't ugly. He wasn't
I love
ugly.
when you say that because when a guy is attractive, you never say he's handsome or cute. You'll be like, he's attractive. Or if he's not to the point of being attractive, you say he's not ugly.
No, I say like okay. If I say a guy is attractive, it's because I personally find him attractive. But if I say a guy's not ugly, I understand that somebody think like he's not ugly, but I'm not attracted to him.
You do have a type.
So I'm like, but I'm well aware that other people would find this man attractive. I just don't. So that's how I feel about the plumber. So I'm like, hey, actually, I have a friend. I should have said that. My bad. But no, the second guy, the next day.
Plumbers make good money. Not that I'm a gold digger. I make my own money.
I'm pretty sure he goes there. I'll go up to him. I'm like, hey, I still have a boyfriend, but I've got a friend.
Be on the lookout for his van.
I'm like, hey.
Was he in his plumber van?
Yeah, it was, him, because it was like him and someone else. I guess they go, they do stuff together. But no, the second day, this one was it wasn't weird, but it was just like a weird comment. I was walking out and I didn't hold the door open for this other guy because I didn't realize he was about to walk out. So then I was like, oh shit. And so he walks out and I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry. I wasn't trying to be rude. I didn't realize you're about to walk out. I didn't want him to think I was an asshole. And so then I can tell the eyes. You can tell when they shift and they're going to say something to you. And he goes, what does he say? He's like, oh no, it's okay. And he goes, are you from around here? And I'm like, I've lived here since 2012. I moved here when I was 17.
Yes.
So then,
at that point,
moving on. So then he went, how old are you now? Like he was confused. And I was like, oh, I'm 20.
Did you look like you were a baby?
I'm 28. And he went, oh my gosh. I mean, you still look so young. Like
you are still young, bitch.
And so then I was like, I understood that it was a compliment, but at the same time, I'm like, but 28's not old, bro. So that annoyed me, but I was like, oh, okay, thanks. Like I understand if you want to say, oh, to me, like you look way younger than that. Don't tell me I still look young, implying 28 is old.
Yeah.
When you live to pretty much when you live to almost just be 100 now, it's very young. So anyway, that was it. God damn.
Oh, we didn't talk about the other thing I want to talk about.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Oh, I said I had a thing.
I forgot.
So I was on the phone yesterday. For work, I had to call and pay our gas bill for the building because we have a seasonal account for the heat for the winter. And so every month I have to pay to call the gas bill. I talk to the same lady on the phone. At least this year I have. And it's the same lady. And she has this voice that is this shy of being like a robot voice. Like it's very, very here.
I talked to a man like that this week who I thought was a robot.
It's not too high. It's not too low. It's very it's the kind of voice that feels warm, but it's a feminine voice, right? I know it's a woman because she tells me her name every time. She's like, says, well, my name is first name, last name. I'm not going to put her out there.
Not going to dox her.
But her voice is just very here. And it's very soothing. And it's not too high, not too low. And she sounds almost like a robot and almost like she's reading from a script. And
I feel like
I'm
this
going
is
to,
sexual.
yeah, it feels almost like it,
You should apologize to everybody that you just spoke to
I'm
like
sorry. Well, I'm trying to imitate her voice.
that. This feels so
And what's the account number? Okay, I'm looking at this invoice. I just want to make sure it's the right number.
I don't like the way you're talking to me right now.
This literally, that's her voice the whole time. And I'm like, okay.
You're like, this is you. You're going,
Just getting so hot
oh my God.
and bothered. But so, yeah, I mean, it just cracks me up because she's just the same way every single time. So I know that that's how she talks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just this side of not being a robot.
She should have been like a
She's very,
like a phone sex worker.
She's very thorough because she reads the entire invoice number.
All of it.
It's like a 9 or 10 digit number. She reads every number of the invoice. She's like, okay, and this is the amount I'm showing. Is that correct? And so I give her the credit card information to pay. And I mean, she's very lovely, very pleasant. But
I bet
it made, but it made me think about how if you're ever talking on the phone to somebody that's like customer service, or even if you're talking to a robot, like an automated voice on the phone, do you match their either tone of voice or their vocal inflection or like their energy that they're giving you? Do you ever like match it?
I have a persona for the phone.
Mhm.
So I just have my own persona because I've been doing like phone customer service stuff since I was like 17.
Mhm.
So I don't know that I match anybody else's because I've already
have your
I
own.
have like a character.
Yeah.
That I have gotten compliments since I've been like in any kind of professional industry on my phone voice, which you don't like.
I hate your phone
but it's
voice.
also
It's
like
so fake to me because I
you know me.
I know
very
what
well.
you sound like.
Yeah.
But a lot of people that work in customer service do have a phone voice. My mom has one. And it's so funny. I think we've mentioned before when I served at Cracker Barrel, there's a server that we work with who had a table voice.
Yeah.
Where her table, like her voice sounded pretty much like ours, like not too high, it's a little bit lower for like a woman's voice.
Yeah.
But she would go up to a table and immediately it's higher pitch and breathy. Like every single table that she talked to. And I'm like, who are you? You sound so fake, but her tables don't know.
No, they don't know.
Yeah. And so, but yeah, so a lot of people that work in customer service have a phone voice. And it's a lot of times for women, higher pitch, and like a lot more bubbly.
Yeah, that's how mine is. Hold on. I don't want to say where I work. I need another. Give me a company name to say.
Cracker Barrel.
Hold on. How would I normally say it?
I'm like, I won't look at you. You don't feel
I would be like, ring, ring, ring. Here's the why. I would be like, I don't like the Cracker Barrel's not rolling off the tongue for me.
What's a fake company?
The Krusty Krab.
Okay.
Or the Krusty Krab. Hold on. What do I say at work? I need to like say, I'm like, oh, Krusty Krab, this is Jessica. And then I would say, oh yeah? You make an appointment? Like, it's just, yeah, it gets higher. But like the thing that was funny, and it's to this day, like I get accused of having split personality, is because I'll be like, motherfucking idiot. Everyone's a fucking idiot. Blah, blah, ah. And then the phone goes, ring, ring. I'm like, I almost said my work name or my work thing. Krusty Krab, this is Jessica. And they're like, she was just screaming. She just sounded like a hellhound. And then she's like, yeah? So so I guess I don't match their energy. If it's a robot, I'm fucking customer service human. Like, I want a person.
Well, I have to, when I pay my internet bill, I have to call to pay because
I have to do that with PayPal credit, and it's so fucking annoying.
Because when they set up the account, basically it did something weird and I could never log back into my account. I couldn't figure out how to pay online or to reset it. It was just really stupid and not worth it. So I'm like, I'm just going to call. I talk to the robot. It takes me 2 minutes once a month. So I get the robot every time and she says, briefly tell me what you're calling about, such as I need to make a payment.
Wow, that was really good.
Yeah.
Good job.
Because I give her the same energy. Literally, I mimic her inflection when she's like, briefly tell me what you're calling about, such as I need to make a payment. And I'll say, I need to make a payment. I mimic her.
Why did you act like you couldn't make certain sounds on the last podcast when it came to noises?
Because I can't.
Because you're a liar. You're a liar. You're a dirty liar.
I can sound like a robot, I guess. I can sound like an automated voice.
You sound like a sex robot. There's something sexual about it. I'm like, have you just
Is it because it's devoid of all like joy? It's just like my sex robot voice is just like, here.
No, it doesn't. It sounds like
Do I sound seductive?
yeah, there's something flirty-ish. Like
I sound flirty.
yeah, but not
Not
no,
like that.
not that.
Not that?
No. That you did it earlier.
Nope. That was
it's
wrong.
gone.
I can't do it now.
I'm sorry.
I gotta imitate. I gotta
Yeah,
channel the lady
yeah.
at the gas company.
Your robot persona.
But yeah, so I was just, it made me think about that when I was like, oh, I definitely I match people's energy. I give them back the
Is that
vocal
what
inflection and
That what happened this morning? You guys missed a lot of cattiness.
Oh.
What did we say? What was? Oh God. I almost made Anna cry again because every time we film, every time
we're getting into it.
every
again.
time this bitch decides after everything's set up, I gotta blot. Bitch,
Because my face gets like sweaty and oily,
Then
and
you
because
knew it.
anytime I don't, and then I see the footage after, I'm like, I look like a sweaty mess.
mind you, we've shown the mirror, so maybe you were able to see all of the obstacles. And as she's stated, she's not spatially aware. I had a heart attack a second ago. I thought she was about to knock her fucking camera over with her
I
foot.
am very clumsy, and my feet and legs and limbs have a mind of their own sometimes, so I trip over shit all the time.
So
And there's so many tripods in this room and not much
Yes.
room to walk around and
No.
cables, and it's just a lot.
So that
It's
being
minefield.
said, I wanted to make sure her camera was good, and I went and got her blot and stuff.
Some toilet paper to
Yeah, and this bitch her head is like flipped upside down. I'm trying to make sure the focus is like it's on you and not like like you're nice and clear. And I'm like, what the fuck kind of possessed shit is this?
because I don't know why, but like when I blot, the tissue like has to stay stationary, and then I maneuver my face around it. So like I could give you a demonstration, but you
go ahead.
okay?
Go
hold
ahead.
on. Let me grab my tissue.
That's a low. What is that? There's an audio. Go ahead. Let's light this candle.
Okay, got my tissue. And
Yes.
I'm gonna demonstrate how
Yes.
I blot my face.
Sorry, audio listeners. That's very vanilla compared to what you did earlier.
Oh, it's usually the forehead, and then I have to maneuver my hair around.
You were upside down earlier.
I don't think I was.
You were farther forward. That was so vanilla.
I might have been.
No, this bitch was like this. Hand me that.
I think you're exaggerating.
I don't care. This is. All right, hold on.
This is what the people
This-
came here for.
Audio listeners, I will now be demonstrating the blotting. That's
I
what
had
you
to
did.
lean all the way forward.
And I'm like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing?
She just started like criticizing me blotting and said like, why you gotta get like fucking upside down? And that sent me. I started crying because I was laughing so much.
Yeah,
That was-
but there were tears. So
that was-
I could see them. And the camera was like, ugh.
It was a cry laugh. It got me. You got me good.
You got me good.
But yeah, this
DNC. It's a song.
That's it.
I don't think we can do a story today.
I don't think we have
What time is it?
40 something.
40 what? 42 and 48 are different numbers.
46.
Ooh.
Yeah.
If we already had one, we could because the last one was about an hour.
Yeah. I don't have one paired.
Well, yeah, guys. So we're going to have to figure out. We never did a giveaway. Sorry, it's not happening.
We'll do two. You know what? When we do our first one, we'll give away multiple things.
Yeah. So
It's a lot.
we're going to have to figure out pretty much. It's going to be, I just go ahead and know this. It is not going to look like this. It's going to have to be somewhere in my office at my house, probably. It's probably going to be very plain. I'm thinking maybe we'll have the chairs and we're probably going to have to sit closer together. We're going to have to be very mindful of just like us speaking and everything like that. I mean, I still think we've had plenty of entertaining conversations, even when we were like audio only. We weren't. I mean, I think we're even louder slightly now just because there's a theatrical thing sometimes too.
with the
without
camera
even-
and lights.
yeah, without even meaning to be. So it might just be a little more chill for a little bit. Brooke is going to be joining the podcast, my film partner, because it's going into her new home that she's going to be a homeowner. So, and that's why this is the house she rents. And she's been so gracious as to let us
Yes.
do it here for like a year. But now, and we've always wanted her to do the podcast, but it never really just kind of worked out with her schedule and her she just had a lot of stuff going on at the time. But now things are kind of settled. So she's going to be joining. And so I think that'll be a lot
yes,
of fun.
we're very excited for Miss Brooke to join us.
Yes, Brooke is so fucking funny. And she's just, Brooke is like unintentionally funny as fuck. So I think it'll be a nice, fun dynamic.
There's a strand of hair.
I can feel it on me. No, we're about done, right?
Do you want me to get it?
I don't know. Wait.
I can see it. I can see it from here. Yeah.
Is it this one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, it's like still attached to my head though.
Yeah. It was just floating there. Okay.
So,
You're good.
I was like, I feel something attacking me. But so yeah.
We got to figure out what we're gonna do
How we're
for
gonna
our
do
new
it.
set. So we already said, or did we already say we're gonna be experiencing homelessness?
Yes. We said we're gonna be homeless soon, and now we're kind of just really. It's just right. Yeah, I mean, even at Brooke's new house, it won't be the exact same setup.
Oh yeah, we're gonna change it up because Jessica has hated our setup.
I hated it from the start.
Since we got going, and she's wanted to change it for a year now.
I hate it because I'm so uncomfortable. So the funny part is when we first started, and then we were talking about doing video, I always envisioned I've always liked Joe Rogan's table. And that's just because when we did audio, we were at a table, like at your, upstairs in the upper part of your work, across from each other type of a thing. And so I was always like comfortable with that. And when we started talking about doing video, you just one day, I hadn't even said what I liked yet. And Anna goes, yeah, I don't really like the table thing. Like I want it to be really chill. Like they're talking with us and we're like, we're kind of lounging. And I just felt everything inside me just go, oh, fuck me. Because I knew I wasn't going to like it. But I've suffered for a year. So Anna can lounge all she likes. I'm like, I don't
You're
care.
Like, I want a table, goddammit.
I don't care if I'm by myself at this table. I'll have a school desk. I don't care. It's just one less thing for me to concentrate on is my body. Which today's been fine. I haven't been super self-conscious today that I could realize. But anyway, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Well, we have to figure out the whole set at the new house, but we also have to figure out how to record in the meantime and how that setup will be. And so I'm like, we'll just figure it out. I thought about the desk that I still haven't got from your mom. And I was like, I wonder if I can just put that in my office.
Probably.
But then I know our chairs would not be tall enough for that. So that would be the other obstacle. Is like
maybe,
I don't know.
It's not super high.
Part of me is like, can we just shave the legs down?
If we wanted to.
Like I imagine we could just do that and cut them to where like we could still sit in these but have a table.
You can also get risers.
Yeah.
If we needed to put them under here and make these taller. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can get risers in different heights because there's like bed ones, but I think there's like couch ones too. So
yeah. So that might be a solution just in the meantime in my office. So we'll just see. It's going to be super different.
We're like, we'll just get risers and then we build a platform to put underneath these chairs.
I'm like, no, I would cut the legs of that table before I did all that. That would just be easier. Anyway, guys, so I guess that kind of wraps it up. We're going to do, maybe that'll be what we do next week.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole stories? I really wish people would send us stories, but I don't think we're there yet.
I mean, if you got one.
If you got one, send it, man.
We'll take it.
Our email is on one of those things that you could email, isn't it?
Yeah. We have the Waypod email.
The Waypod email.
Yeah, it's on there. It's waypod.business@gmail.com, I think.
We'll put it in.
I don't check it. I'm pretty sure you check it.
I think I'm signed in.
Because like
I don't check it, but I get
know?
the Spreaker thing once in a blue moon that the payment went through.
Oh,
I gotta sneeze. God.
Look at the lights. It'll make you sneeze. Oh.
Look at the light.
Look at the light. Okay.
Okay.
Well, then we will end it here and we will talk at you next time.
You'll talk at you later.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, I didn't do it. Hold up.
Oh, hold on. Try again.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna end it right here. Take 2. We'll talk at you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that episode, go ahead and hit that like button. And while you're at it, hit the fucking subscribe button. Stop making me beg. We'll talk at you next time, and remember, don't be ugly, dumb, or stupid.